The world of building and design is in the midst of a talent crisis. According to the Pharma Review, the UK could see a 20 to 25% decline in the available labor force over the next 10 years. What are industry leaders doing to meet this challenge? To encourage dialogue toward a solution, Bluebeam and Construction Manager magazine came together to host a roundtable discussion. I sat in on the conversation with representatives from design and construction to learn about the challenges they're facing.
Attracting talent into this industry is a challenge. We don't have a very good reputation in terms of competing with other far more digital industries.
It's not just about engaging the younger guys. What we've got to remember is a lot of older people will need retrained.
There are still issues in industry in understanding how to upskill and what skills are required in the BIM space and then in the kind of advanced technology space.
Beyond attracting new talent and training the current workforce, there's also the challenge of shrinking the gap between generations.
If you separate seniority with juniors or graduates, people coming into the business, then there's straight away a gap.
I think it's the different skills that the different generations have that are causing the challenges, because the younger guys can use some of the technology that we prefer to use, but they don't necessarily have the skills of constructing buildings.
And you've got a lot of the older generation with construction knowledge and experience. We've got to try and blend the two before that older generation leave the construction industry and all that knowledge and experience is lost.
As we set out to find answers to these problems, we noticed that some companies at the table were already implementing some interesting solutions.
The way that it works most successfully, in my experience, is to buddy people up.
The more senior staff will hand down methods, processes about how the project delivery should work, how the company operates, how the industry works today, and the younger generations will pass information back up to the more senior staff, more experienced staff, as to how a problem might be approached.
Going and sitting with some of the older construction foremen, as it were, that have been in the business 20 years and actually showing them how they can use the tools. A few months later, they're actually driving through 3D models on their screen or using, iPads for doing their own digital snagging and stuff like that. It's like anything, we all need to see a practical example of something.
As the discussion continued, we also found that there are new developments in the ways technology is being used that could help attract new talent.
It is encouraging that a young engineer or a young architect coming into the industry can see a direction we're going in. I started on the drawing board when I was 16, learning to print. Now, young engineers are actually doing virtual constructions. They're actually engineering. They're actually putting their ideas into a virtual world before it gets near site, so they can see what they're going to be delivering.
Things are changing gradually. We do have a closer connection with gaming environments. There's a lot of talk about gamification of not only the communication outside of our industry, but in the way we do our work.
Game technology is really powerful, and there's a lot of tools already out there. So there was a massive potential. If I can remake the software, based on existing game technology, what else could I actually do? If I actually put some time into it. So
we treat these tools too much like gimmicks just now. So I think the key is to make them part of the way that we do things, and for those guys to feel like they're part of transforming the construction process.
It was inspiring to speak with such a diverse group of participants, some new to the industry and others with years of experience in pushing the industry forward.
Bluebeam have provided an opportunity for people like myself to be able to speak about these kinds of things. And to be fair, I haven't really been invited to many of these sorts of roundtable discussions that are supported by technology companies.
It's nice to hear things from software designer, different people's points of view.
You learn what people are thinking, and equally I get to test some of my ideas out on the other people in the room and see what the reaction is.
And then what we're able to do is that train of thought can actually help influence the direction we go as an industry.
To understand and appreciate other people's challenges and recognise them in the same challenges we have, it's beneficial, especially when that's published to the wider industry.
As the discussion wrapped up, we agreed that change could only come from collaboration and a continued conversation. The question remains, will companies across the industry begin to adopt solutions like those discussed today, to attract and retain the talent that is so desperately needed, and to bridge the gap between generations?